All right, hey, what's up, everybody? This is GratuiTous from Beatstruggles.com. I want to give you guys a quick tip in this video. It's to do with pre-delay on your reverb. So, for example, here on the claps, I have the Fruity Reverb 2. So this delay right here is called pre-delay. And so what it does is, let's say, for example, on a snare hit, and you want to add reverb. So if the reverb plays at the same time as your reverb hits, sometimes that reverb can get hidden and lost in the mix. So what the pre-delay does is, after your snare hit actually hits, it delays the reverb by however long you set it, so that once the snare hits, the reverb is a little bit delayed, and then the full body is more audible throughout the track. So when I'm dialing in pre-delay in my mixes and stuff like that, I usually tend just to dial in just a little bit, like even, let's see, where was it at? So it was here before, and that's at maybe like 40 milliseconds if you can look in the top left there, around that area. So I'll paste, I don't know, it's just at like 4% or something like that. So there's also, if you click this right here, you can like tempo base it so it kind of syncs with your actual track. It all depends on what your song is and what sound you're trying to achieve. Usually I'll just kind of dial in this knob just a little bit, just so that my reverb is a little bit more audible, and I don't have to crank this as much, and I don't have to add so much of like the actual decay time. The pre-delay is just an awesome knob so that you can still dial in the amount of reverb you want without having such a super long tail, and it's still audible at the same time. So in this track, it's called We Cry Mercy. I've just kind of set a loop point in this kind of like the more middle of the track. I'll let you guys listen to how I originally have it set up, and you guys can see just a little bit. I have this dialed in just a little bit, and it does make a difference just to make the reverb stand out and make the clap sound just a little bit fuller in the actual track. Without it, you know, the clap's still there and the reverb's still there, but it's not as audible as once you start dialing some pre-delay. Okay, so this is the track. So actually, before we continue on, I will actually show you what it actually sounds like. So this is just the clap. We're listening to just the clap in this track. So right now I have a lot of pre-delay, and it kind of sounds out of sync because it's like the clap hits and then it delays for, in this case, 250 milliseconds, and then the body of the reverb actually plays. Whereas when it's on 0, the clap hits, but the reverb plays at the exact same time. So the body of the reverb actually gets masked. It gets like hidden in behind the original sound. So if you dial in just a little bit of pre-delay, the original hit hits, nudges over the reverb just a little bit, and then you actually hear like the full body of the reverb. And again, like I was saying, you don't have to dial in as much decay time and as much wetness, because you're actually hearing like the body, and you're making it more prominent in your mix. Even what I've dialed in here, even 4%, I can hear a difference, and it just kind of fills it up a little more. So again, I'm just going to kind of go 0. I'll go what I originally have it set at, and then I'm also going to dial in a little more, okay? And you guys can just kind of hear, and then in your own tracks, just play around with it, and you guys will hear that it just makes your reverb a lot more prominent. Okay, so one more time, I'll listen to it on the 4% and then on 0. And here on my earbuds here, I am hearing a difference. So and then obviously way too much. And then again, you guys can click the tempo bass, and then you, as you can see, you can dial it in up here. So So, you know, kind of dial it in whatever you want. Again, in this track, I only had it at like 40 milliseconds or whatever, just to give you an idea of what sounds good. But that's all I want to share with you guys in this tutorial, is just on your reverb, there's the pre-delay knob. It just allows your reverb just to stand out just a little bit more in your track, make it a little bit more prominent without having to dial in more extreme settings and without having to have a super long reverb tail and all that kind of stuff. So I'm GratuiTous, this is Beatstruggles.com. Hopefully this helps you out, and I will talk to you later.